joined the borax company, organized the geology department, and hired the first geologists there, and stayed with borax for 7 years. Before, when I was with the survey, I became active with SEG, and there met some interesting people, one of whom is Dick Ellett. Dick knew some people at Getty. Through him and another colleague, my name was suggested to Getty, and who were right down the street from borax, actually. And so I got an interview with Getty, met George Getty, the son who was president of the company, and they asked me to join and start a new organization. Getty was a technically oriented company, had a lot of geologists. They knew how to handle geologists. They knew what geology was. George Getty had a couple of years of geology at Princeton. J. Paul Getty was quite comfortable with the technical aspects of the science, the carrying out of the science. The company executives had a little bit of knowledge about the minerals industry, but it didn't go too far, because there's such a dramatic difference between what you do in minerals exploration and what you do in the oil and gas business. You know, in the oil and gas business, one physical fact that you don't have in the mining business, and that is the material you're looking for flows. This showed up when we were exploring in Missouri. We were drilling holes to look at a magnetite deposit, which had bornite, enough bornite to be of interest. And I kept getting, a few phone calls. Well, why are you guys drilling so many holes? And I pointed out that, well, you can drill a hole right beside these are pipe-like deposits, right beside it, and not really know it. In the oil and gas business, with just a few holes, generally speaking, you can determine what you have. This is so much different from what we do in the minerals business. I'll put it this way: I needed to bring initially comfort to the executives, and I did this by doing on our first project, a joint venture. And I knew Paul Henshaw at Homestake quite well. He was exploration vice president. I knew him through SEG work, and suggested to Paul, all right, how about a joint venture doing gold in Nevada? They knew Homestake, which is one of the big gold mining companies. George Getty knew this well, and this brought comfort. And in the meantime, of course, too, they were getting more comfortable with me. The comfort was at a pretty good level in about 2 years. I had enough presentations to the various executives. One of the main comfort builders was a meeting of the board where I arranged for them to meet at Petrotomics in Wyoming at our uranium mine. I had arranged for our chemical group at Petrotomics to put together physically a flow sheet. And they actually took some ore and showed how it ended up as yellow cake. And then in the meantime, I started building up the organization. I mean, this was facilitated by knowing people, because I was fairly active in SEG and in the AIME in Los Angeles, and I followed people. I met, for instance, just to give an example, I gave a field course while I was with Borax to a group from Richfield Oil, and I met a couple of geologists there, and I then followed their careers. And later on, as Getty grew, I hired a couple of the fellows. And generally speaking, the people I hired were people that I either knew or knew of their careers, stuff that they had done. I don't think we advertised until we got much larger, and I would spend a day with a guy. One fellow I hired, for instance, for our Utah office, I went skiing with him. We spent the whole day, and he that evening over dinner, he asked me, how, I mean, you didn't ask me too much about my career or anything like that. He said, I don't quite understand this. I said, well, I wanted to know you and judge you, and I got a very good view of you. I can read what you've done, and I've known what you've done from your resume anyway.